Hey, how you doing? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? So I have a show tomorrow with the amazing Josh Whitaker on the show. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Want to talk a little bit about how to win in your business or your life on a much larger scale and much faster. Speed up time for your business. So, Jose Garza, what's happening, my brother? It's been a minute since I just came on and did a live stream all by myself. But I was sitting here thinking about this, thinking about how so many people struggle and how to overcome it. There are actually steps to it. Julio, my brother, how you doing? Thank you, Jose, for sharing. Thank you. Good to see you too, man. So how do you win faster and bigger, or bigger and faster? The number one thing is to do what I just did. And that is, I'm going to tell you exactly how this went down. I'm like, you know what? I need to do a live stream and talk about this topic. And my mind went, yeah, but you haven't done a live stream just by yourself in quite a while. I was like, yeah, that's true. Man, what if nobody even wants to hear from me? What if nobody jumps on? What if? I mean, it's 10:07 Central. That means it's 11:07 on the East Coast. My gosh, what if nobody's on? What if nobody watches? And all the what ifs. And my mind started playing that game, started running that movie, trying to convince me that I shouldn't go live. But here's the thing I talk about a lot. I talk about number one, everybody should be doing a podcast. And I'm not talking about just videos on YouTube. That's not a podcast, that's videos on YouTube. I'm talking about a podcast where you should interview people. There's plenty of talking head podcasts out there where it's one guy talking. And excuse me, not a lot of those don't get a lot of traction typically. Hey, Theodora, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being on. I'm talking about a podcast where you interview people and then taking the MP3 file and uploading it to a podcast hosting network like Spreaker or any of the other ones. There's a couple of them you got to be careful with because once you upload your content to those other ones, some of them, they own your content from that point forward. You no longer own it. So you have to be careful with that. But I'm talking about if somebody with an iPhone goes to their podcasts app on their iPhone and they search for your podcast, can they find it? Do a podcast, interview people. If you're in the insurance business like Theodora or financial planning, interview people. Interview people. I don't have enough business. I'm too busy making cold calls or whatever it is. Okay, we'll take 30 minutes out of your day and interview people. Interview people. I'm working on facilitating a huge, the biggest deal of all deals for somebody. I cannot go into details at all, not even a little bit. but it's by far the largest deal that I've ever helped facilitate ever. Like it's insane. And when it comes out and you guys hear about this, you're going to go, "What? Are you serious?" I can't even believe it. And you know why? It's because I met these people through my podcast. I have Patriot Barbie, who's an amazing woman. Amazing woman. I mean, absolutely amazing. Patriot Barbie is going to be on my show at the end of this month. That's right there. Julio's saying I had 3 strangers come up to me at ISC West, a trade show last week, and asked me about my videos. They're important. So, the other part of the equation is all of the social media, um, all of the social media platforms really favor live stream videos over pre-recorded videos, over regular posts. I said this, I've said it many times from stage. I said it to a major CEO last night on a phone call. I said, if ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox all got together and they hired me to come and talk to you, and I said, hey, we love your content so much, we're going to let you live stream 24 hours a day, whenever you want. You can go live on our networks anytime that you want, and it's free. Would you say no to that? And of course, the answer was no. I wouldn't say no. I'd say, hey, hallelujah. Because you would win the dumbest business owner of the year award if you said no to that. But here's the thing. Facebook by itself is probably 1,000 times bigger than all of your local networks combined, because you have a global reach. And then with Facebook and YouTube and some of these other platforms, you can throw some advertising dollars behind your videos and boost them out even more. I did it when Brian Tracy was on my show. I did it when Paul Hutchinson from the Sound of Freedom movie, when Paul was on, threw a bunch of money at that video, got it up to 60 or 70,000 views. You have so much control over your spend, which would be zero if you just build a live stream audience. That's how Julio and I know each other. That's how Theodora and I know each other. That's how Jose and I know each other, is because of live streaming. So tonight, I just went live. How to win bigger and faster. How to win bigger and faster. Let's say that you sell, I don't know, these. Oh, you can't see it. My green screen's cutting it out. Probiotics. Let's say you sell probiotics. Let's say you have the best probiotics ever made, the best probiotics known to mankind. Cures all kinds of problems for people, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Probiotics could be anything, but that's what you sell. That's what you do for a living. You sell that one thing. Why are you not going live and talking about it? Let's say that you're a plumber and you're the best dang plumber in the nation or in your market. Why are you not going live and talking about it? Do people know who you are? Do they know what you do? It shocks me to this day, because I talk about what I do all the time. I've done website development and digital marketing for 30 years. I help people build celebrity brands. I have an online academy called the Grow Live Academy that I have hundreds of members in there. And I've taught many, many people how to live stream and create a podcast. I've done this for years, but it always surprises me when somebody says, so what do you do? And I'm like, man, that is my fault, not yours, because I haven't let you know. I haven't put it out enough. So the way that you're going to win bigger and faster is increase your frequency. Do the things you're afraid of. Live streaming, it's scary. right now I'm just talking to me. I know Julio was watching. I know Teodora was watching. I know that Jose was watching, but I don't know that they're still watching. They may not be. Right now, I'm just having a conversation with myself, and that's tough to do. Although I do talk to myself a lot. It's tough to sit here and just talk to a screen when you don't know if anybody, and Jose's still here. See that? When you don't know if anybody's actually watching, you don't know if your points are landing for anybody. Jose, for example, is a client of mine. He's one of my best friends in the world. I love this dude. Jose owns out in California. I'm trying to think of the exact area, Fresno-ish. He owns a trash bin cleaning service. And it's growing and growing and growing so fast, but it could be growing a lot faster. You want to know why? Because Jose, you may not be friends with your customers on Facebook, but I will tell you this, your customers are watching you. They're watching you. And you could be going live every single day. Or like many other people, you could just be making excuses every single day. But if you were out doing, because he has this really bad ass equipment that does this, the equipment that he has is so cool. It's amazing. And it steam cleans them and sanitizes them and does all of these freaking amazing things. Why are you not live streaming that, bro? Showing people with steam pouring out of the trash can and why are you not live streaming that? That would impress me if I saw that and I was in a neighborhood that you were cleaning trash cans in, man. Like every single business out there. Stephanie says, "Ken, oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you." But you know, when you're no matter what product or service you're selling, no matter what it is, why are you not showing people how you're doing it? How it's done? Maybe it look, I've used this example before. There's this lady in Mexico. She's an old grandma in Mexico. I forget her name. I'm not even going to try to look it up. But she has like 4 million subscribers. You know what she does? She stands at one of those old um stone oven with like you can cook on it too, a stove. It's stone, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, and she makes these really cool Mexican dishes like food and and Corey, just live stream it, bro. Show people how it's done. Show people how it's done. Well, if you don't do anything, Doug Wing, if you don't do anything, you know, that's probably one of the biggest reasons that people retire and then they you know, you hear about these guys that retire after working for 40 years and then they retire and dwindle away pretty quick because you have to have some kind of a purpose and burning desire in life. And Doug Wing, you of all people have all kinds of things you could be live streaming about. I mean, everybody that I talk to, I don't care who it is, like you could do a live stream. You're literally walking around with a television station in your pocket. Right now, I am live on 5 Facebook pages, LinkedIn, 2 YouTube channels, and Twitter. Like I'm everywhere right now. I've covered all the bases. You could be live streaming about anything. I don't care what it is. Laura Bramlett Wilkerson, Dr. Laura is in the house. She's heard this lecture, but on the phone or on a Zoom, she's heard it from me. if here's the thing. I know, bro. I know. Here's the thing. Like if you it really doesn't matter what it is. Laura is a dude, Glenn. Whoa, bro, I just called you, by the way. Trying to get you on here. But look, if you want more out of life, I saw a meme. I saw a meme recently, and I'll get back to the more if you want more out of life. But I saw a meme recently that said, "Don't cry about the paycheck that you didn't work for, that you didn't get," or something like that. Like, look, you are carrying around a television station, a studio in your pocket right here every single day. And your phone is probably never more than a few feet from you, at least most people, not everyone, but most people. Hey, Nicole Young, geriatrics. Thank you, Laura. I never know what to call it. I always say the old folks home. She hates that. But the live stream about what you're doing. Glenn, if you guys don't know my brother from another mother, Glenn Morshower, he's a very famous actor. I've seen him live stream from his trailer. I've been on those live streams with him from his movie trailer or from a outside of a set, or he's done that just because that's what gets attention. You've got to get attention if you want. Glenn was saying that a lot of casting directors for movies and television shows nowadays, they say, well, how many followers do you have on social media? Like, everybody knows that, and I don't know how long it's going to last. I mean, I've been on Facebook and all this stuff since pretty much the beginning. I don't know that it's going to last forever. It probably won't. But I do know that it's here now. I do know that there's a lot of people on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on all of these platforms. And I do know these platforms favor live stream videos. So why aren't you doing it? And the answer is pretty simple. It typically is we have excuses that are bigger than our dreams. We have excuses, or we think it won't work, or we think we're not good enough, or we think that we're too stupid to do it, or we're going to say the wrong thing. Do you know how many times I've said the wrong thing on a live stream? Like, literally every live stream I've ever done, I think. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. My God. None of us are perfect. You're not going to ever be perfect. Got to put yourself out there. Do this thing. If you need help, I mean, hey, look, I didn't get on here to sell you guys something, but while I'm here, why not? So I want you to go right now. If I can find this, maybe not. Maybe I won't sell you anything. I want you to go to the Grow Live Academy. There it is. Stream that across the bottom. Somebody type that in the comments for me with the www so it's clickable. But go to www.growliveacademy.com, get signed up. There's 100 and some odd videos in there where I'm teaching you live streaming. I'm teaching you how to use all the tools. I'm teaching you how to take and interview people and then take that and turn it into a podcast. And I teach all of that stuff, some YouTube SEO and all kinds of different things in there. But and then we have a meeting every 2 weeks on Zoom. Thank you, Jose. We have a meeting every 2 weeks on Zoom for about an hour and a half to 2 hours where we talk about live streaming. I answer questions, technology questions. We go through a lot of things. And May the 2nd coming up, I have the one and only Mr. Jim Keys coming to speak to the Grow Live Academy. Jim is the former CEO of 7-Eleven, turned that company around out of bankruptcy and made them profitable. And then he went and took over the failing Blockbuster Video and really turned that around and packaged it up and made it sellable and sold it. So Jim was the CEO of 7-Eleven and of Blockbuster Video later, two multi-billion-dollar companies. And he's coming to the Grow Live Academy to talk about his new book, Education is Freedom, right there. And to talk about what it takes to really be successful in life. And what I'm here to tell you is you can be a whole lot more successful, a lot faster, if you'll just pick up your phone, turn on a computer, go get the education you need, because education is freedom. Get the education from Grow Live Academy or wherever, but learn how to do this and then do it, and do it frequently. Don't be afraid. You're going to be afraid. You're going to be afraid. Every time I go live, I still get those, and I've done over 4,000 live streams, but I still get those little butterflies. I don't know. I'm not afraid, but I get the little for a minute, and then they go away. As soon as I hit go live, they go away. I just start talking. I was just invited to speak at an event on stage here in Dallas at an event May 2nd, and then be a judge for a speaking contest on May the 3rd, which is phenomenal. And you know why? It's because I decided to stop playing small, go live, get myself out there, start a show, do a podcast, do all of these things. Mark Victor Hansen, friend of mine, #1 best-selling author in the world with Chicken Soup for the Soul. Why? Because he's been on my podcast. Bob Donnell introduced him. Bob Donnell introduced Glenn Morshower to me. Bob Donnell's been on my show. Bob's referred all kinds of people. Joe Ingram has referred all kinds of people. All these people that have referred people to me over and over and over. I have Patriot Barbie coming on at the end of this month, which is just unbelievable to me. She's amazing. Y'all are going to love her. So, all of these things that have come to pass. I was talking to somebody the other day about Judge Ken Starr, the guy that impeached Bill Clinton. Ken has passed away, but Ken was a friend of mine. I did a book signing event with a former senator in Ohio, Kevin Bacon. Not the same Kevin Bacon you're thinking, but Kevin Bacon nonetheless. The real Kevin Bacon. How about that? And all of this stuff has come about in my life because I quit being, I was still afraid, but I did it anyway. I confronted my fears by doing and increasing frequency. And so what I'm telling you is the way for you to win bigger and faster is to do what I'm doing right now. Get on a live stream and talk about what you do. Talk about what you do. Tell people what you do. Show them what you do. You can do it with a phone. You can do it with a computer. If you're out in the field like Jose is, grab your phone and check out the cleaning process is the title. Go live. Boom. Now start showing people what you do. And then when it's over, share it out everywhere. Or you open up StreamYard on your phone like I'm using so you can simulcast to multiple platforms and just do it. It takes an extra minute, maybe, just to set that up, and then hit go live and get out and start showing people what you do. You want more business, you want more money, you want more attention. You got to take the steps to get more attention. You got to take the steps to grow yourself. You have to. Or, well, no, you don't. You can starve. You can stay where you are, which, only average people make that choice. And I would assume that most people that watch my live streams are probably not average. I would say most people that watch me are way above average. So take the steps, change your life, do something different. Do something different today than you did yesterday. Tomorrow, when you wake up, do something different tomorrow than you did today. Take different actions. Do a couple more videos. Those are important too. Do a live stream or 3 or 4. You don't have to go. I've been on here 26 minutes. You don't have to go 26 minutes. You can do a live stream for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. That's two. If you go live tomorrow for 2 minutes and you did 0 minutes today, look at that. You're 200% ahead of the game already. Come on, man. You can do this. Stop playing small. Stop playing small. I had to tell myself that over and over and over and over. Stop with your BS excuses, because you know what? They're only serving you, and they're really not serving you. Nobody believes them. Oh, I had these 5 errands to run today. Okay. I understand. You got to give that up. You got to give it up. Go after it. Go after it. The world is your oyster. Is that the saying? I think that's the saying. Go after it. There's so much more available to you than you're allowing yourself to have, because you allow your excuses to get in your way and you don't do the things you know you should be doing. Drop a 1 in the comments if you think I'm wrong. See how many people drop a 1. Corey will probably drop a 1 because that's just who he is. Drop a 2 in there if you think I'm right. And Glenn, if you're still watching, 3 is not an option. 2, Jose. Jose was the first one. Again, you got to, if you want bigger and better results, you got to do bigger and better things. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is literally the definition of going insane. And I don't care who you are. I don't even care if you're somebody I don't like. I watch somebody go insane. I don't want to see people fail, even if you're somebody I don't like. I don't want to see you fail. I want to see you win. I want to hear that, hey, so-and-so's winning. Good. I don't wish anybody any ill will. There is my brother from another mother, Nick Ogilvy. I've talked about this so many times with Nick. So many times that, look, you've got to. Oh, there's Patricia Gigich. I love you, Patricia. Laughter is insanity turned inside out. That's it. And you know what's fun is getting on a live stream and doing something stupid, realizing you did something or said something stupid, and then laughing about it. I think what the problem is, Stephanie, you tell me if you agree. I think the problem is this. I think people are afraid of being judged by other people. Well, my mom, and I'm not saying this about me, I'm saying this about, could be anybody, says my mom was mean to me as a child, and she's on my friends list, so man, if I go live and my mom watches, what if she says something mean on my live stream? Well, then you have the opportunity to block mom. Like, it's not, hey, listen, it's not, I would block anybody that got on my live stream and started messing things up. I just would. I don't care who it is. Michelle. I love this woman. She's amazing. Um, you know, my mom is mean. Your mom's not mean. I love your mom. Nick has the coolest mom and granny. Oh my gosh. So listen, how do I say this? And I don't want to say this so it offends you, Stephanie, or anybody else, but if you think about it for a minute, I want you to think about something. And I heard Grant Cardone say this. If you have a product or a service that you are not telling everybody with ears that you possibly can, if you're not telling everybody you possibly can, like about your product or service, number one, the reason would be number one, you don't believe in your product or service, and that's a whole nother issue. Or number two, you're so concerned about what other people think about you that you're literally stealing from the world. And if you're that concerned about what other people think of you, could that be a slight form of self-centered behavior, of narcissism? I'm not saying you're narcissist, none of you. I'm just saying, is it like I'm so worried about me and my feelings and what people are going to feel about me that I'm not willing to take a risk and tell the world about. I mean, if you had the cure to cancer, wouldn't you go live and talk to everybody for 15 hours a day live streaming about it, like, hey, I got the cure, I got the cure, I got the cure? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you tell everybody that you could? So if you believe in your product or service on that level, why wouldn't you go live and tell everybody about it? I mean, all the time. And I understand the fear of being judged. I get that. I'm not judging you for having that fear. I'm not judging you for having that fear. But at the end of the day, at some point, you've got to let all that go. At the end of the day, at some point, you've got to say, you know what? It doesn't matter what they think, because it honestly doesn't. Unless they're going to pay your bills for you, make your dreams come true. Nobody's shown up on my doorstep with all that yet. Notice I said yet, because I will leave the door open for that possibility. Again, to have different results, you have to change what you're doing. And what I'm telling you is go live. Stop doing pre-recorded, planned out videos and go live. There's no reason not to. Here's the thing. People are going to judge you anyway. I watch the number of viewers on here, and I'm not even going to talk about how many viewers. That shows like 18 or 19 right now. But I watched it dip down to 10. And then at one point it dipped down to 3, and then it shot back up to 14. Now it's at 20. It was at 25 a little bit ago. And that's okay. It doesn't matter. People come and go. You don't have much time. That's the other thing. The other reason you should be live streaming is you really don't even have a captive audience for that long. So there's nothing to worry about. They're probably not going to stick around anyway. Seriously. So I don't care what it is that you're selling, product or service wise. If you're not doing live streams, You're literally taking all of the value that you offer in your product or service and tossing it right out the window. You're saying, well, it's good, but I'm not sure that it's good enough for me to risk going live and talking about it. No. Bzz, wrong answer. Stop doing that. Go live. Tell everybody with ears about it. Everybody. My wife has been, for those of you that don't know, Nick Ogilvy, about 5 or 6 weeks ago now, had major surgery. I mean, major. Open heart, double lung. It was incredibly major. Probably in the top 1 or 2 or 3 most dangerous surgeries you could have. And so Nick, I was there with his wife and his granny and his mom and his brother when the surgeon came out, and Nick's been through it, man. I mean, and the guy is a champion. I mean, he's a freaking champion. So my wife has been going out and taking care of Nick's cows because she loves animals. And she's been driving out there to their farm and taking care of the cows for him, and I don't even know how many times she's been out there now, but she goes out there tonight, and Nick and his amazing wife Anessa um bought my wife a brand new pair of muck boots. And if you know anything about muck boots, you know that muck boots are the best. They're good for about 35 degrees below zero. They're amazing. I have a pair. They're amazing. And they're not cheap. And Nick and his wife bought her a pair as a thank you because she had another pair. They weren't mucks, but there was a split and so mud got in her shoe and all that. And man, there are good people in this world, and Nick and his wife are definitely two of them. Jose is one. I love this dude. Michelle is amazing. Nicole is amazing. And I think, and even with Nick, and Nick's healing is going so well. Nick, you should be live streaming every day, dude. Every single day, going live, showing people what you do. He does artificial turf, and he's one of the best in the world. And I mean, literally, and he's an expert at it. Like, he is the expert in the artificial turf world, and he never goes live. And he's one of my best friends. That I think that calls for an ass whooping. Nick, I'll be out in about 15 minutes. I'll see you here in a little bit. I'm kidding. He's down right now a little bit, so I can't. It wouldn't be nice. Wouldn't be, I gotta tell you something funny though. So Nick's wife, I love Vanessa. She's so funny. But Nick, they literally they cut him right there down the center of his chest and popped it all open. And so it's a little sensitive right there, and he's got a scar there. And excuse me, apparently the other day he had eaten a sandwich or something, and there were crumbs on his shirt, and his wife, oh my god, I can't even tell the story. She wipes, she goes, oh, here, and he goes, ah. It's just, oh, so funny. Anessa is so funny. They're both hilarious. I'm just thinking about him telling me that story. It was so dang funny. Oh man. Anyway, thank you, Nick, for what y'all did for my wife. And Bob Donnell is on. Bob, did you hear me talking about you? I was talking about you, dude. I love you, Bob. I appreciate the heck out of you, man. That dude right there. If y'all aren't following Bob Donnell, Shame. I'm gonna shame you. I'm gonna shame you into following Bob Donnell because that dude is brilliant on a whole different level. For real. In fact, his organization is called Next Level by association. And what's interesting about doing all of this stuff that I'm talking about, what's interesting about doing this, Nick being down right now, as you said, is the only thing that gives you a shot at kicking his ass. Oh, Glenn, you're killing me. That is funny. That's funny, but it's also very true. Oh my gosh, Nick is a little bit bigger than me. What was I saying before that? What was I saying? I forget. Oh, Bob has Next Level by association. And the whole association thing is about that I've been talking about doing a live stream, not just a live stream, going live every day. Try going live every single day with a topic, not just random, just come up with a topic to talk about in your business, your life, your whatever. Maybe you're a spiritual guru like Glenn Morshower, and you can go live and talk about how to pull your spiritual head out of your spiritual rear end. These are all metaphors, but to live a better life, right? But try going live once or twice every single day for the next, I don't know, 365 days. And I'm going to tell you something. If you make the commitment, don't break your commitment to yourself. If you make the commitment, then do it. And then in 1 year from today, April the 17th, 2025 will be 1 year from today. I want you to send me a message. Prove to me that you went live and talked about something decent every single day. In 365 days, your life will not be the same as it is today. It won't be. It will not be. It will improve significantly. And you may be a bumbling idiot at first. You may be a bumbling idiot on day 365. I don't know. But here's the thing. You're never going to know if you don't give it a try. Give it a shot, man. Jeez. Oh my God. I can't take it. He's not even on here with me and I'm cracking up. Physically depleted pro boxers. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. I honestly, Bob, yes, I have. I've done over 4,000 live streams. But here's the thing. I like didn't do it to prove it to anybody except for me. Like I just wanted to I get excited about something and I'll go live. Well, I used to go live a whole lot more on during the Periscope days. I'd go live for 10, 15 minutes and I'd do that 6, 7, 8 times a day. You just have to do it. You have to just do it. And you can do it. If I can do 6 or 7 in a day or 8 in a day, or I've done more, then you can do 1 in a day. One live stream for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yes, that's how Corey and I met back in 2014. That's how I met a lot of people. You got to give up your excuses and all that BS, man, because I'm telling you, it's not working for you. You may have evidence around your life saying, well, but I'm not dead. Okay. That's not really what I mean by it's not working for you. Claiming I'm not dead to prove that you're still winning is kind of weird. That's just weird. Like go do stuff that you don't normally do and really start winning. Show the world who you are and what you do. Teach them, show them. Show them. Nick, I want to see how artificial grass is laid. I want to see it on a live stream video. That way, if you don't cover something that I have a question about while you're live, I can say, yeah, well, hey, wait. What's that stuff y'all just put down? What is that? And then you can come back. Oh, hey, there's a question from Ken. He's wanting to know what that stuff is we put down before we put the turf down. I mean, dude, go live, everybody. Go live, because then people can ask you questions. You can have it's a virtual kind of two-way conversation that way. You can't do that as effectively and when it's live, people are more apt to just throw a question at you. When it's a pre-made video, they may not, because they don't want other people in the comments to see them as a foolish person for asking that question. But when it's live, it's a lot more like, hey, let's just roll with this now. If I say, ask me a question, any question, ask a question. Anybody ask a question. I'm asking you legitimately, ask a question, any question. Doesn't mean I'll answer it, but you can ask any question. But like, when you're live and you're asking people to ask you questions and you're showing them step by step how you do the thing that you do. Nick has this really awesome company where he does these sport courts. Nick, what's it called? Why am I drawing a blank, man? Like basketball courts and the pickleball courts, and Glenn's funny. We pick on each other, trust me. So, like game time courts. Thank you, bro. So show me the installation process. Do a live stream. Show me. And that way, if I have questions about what you're doing, I can ask you right there on the spot. Show me. And that goes for anybody. You're a coach. So many life coaches out here. How about this? Coach somebody live on a live stream. Oh, what if, no, I don't want to do that. Why? Because you're not really a good life coach? Why wouldn't you? If you're a life coach, then freaking do it. Show the world. Show the world how you help people solve their problems. You're a landscaper. Live stream it. Show me what you do. Just saying. Tell the world. You want to sell more books? Live stream about it. Open it up and read part of the chapters or read the chapter titles and then talk about it. Ask people if they have questions. Ask people if they have questions about what you did when you were the CEO of 7-Eleven. I'm just using that as an example. Ask, Nick worked on the railroad forever. Jose worked on the railroad forever. Those are some pretty cool jobs. Every little boy in America wanted to work on the railroad and be a woo engineer one day. And y'all aren't even talking about it. That's some cool stuff. Those are great topics. For everybody watching, I have a gift for you. Go to 100livestreamsecrets.com. 100livestreamsecrets.com. 100livestreamsecrets.com and download my ebook. It's free and you're going to love it. In fact, it's part of Jeffrey Gitomer's book called Go Live. It's a great, and it's free though. Mine is free. If you just go to 100 Livestream Secrets, enter your name and email address, and you'll get the ebook immediately. But listen, I appreciate you guys watching. I love getting on here, and I get fired up, as some of you know. And those of you that don't know me, I'm Ken Walls, and I'm very grateful that you took the time to jump on here. If you shared this out, thank you. If you didn't, you still can, and I would be very grateful for that. But thank you, and thank you to Nick, and thank you to Jose for both of you sharing that. Go over and Bob sharing that. Thank you so much. Bob, yours is spelled wrong. There's a missing T, it looks like. So let's go back here. 100livestreamsecrets.com. Thank you though, Bob. I appreciate you putting that in there. Listen, I'm going to leave you with this. As my brother Glenn Morshower says, he says, before you were born, you already won the greatest, biggest, most massive race of your life. You outswam 500 million sperm to be conceived so that you could eventually be born and be here. There's a 1 in 400 trillion chance. 400 trillion, 1 in 400 trillion chance of you even being born. You won that big race to get here. What was it that you had in mind? Was it to continue playing small, letting life just toss you about? I don't think it was. We all have dreams. We all have hopes. Start going after it. Do this thing. Do this thing. Go live. Do this thing. Join my community, the Grow Live Academy. We have a meeting tomorrow night, Thursday night, every other Thursday. Come and learn from me and from there are some people in this academy. Bob Donnell's in there. Jose's in there. Nick's in there. Go join the Grow Live Academy and join us. Join us. Every other Thursday, we have a meeting on Zoom. And we have people from all over the world in there. And there's over 100 training videos in there. There's a private community that I've set up in there that's going to be phenomenal. Glenn comes by once in a while. Who's Facebook user? Who is that? And who's Courtney? I feel so lost right now. Listen, I think that we all just oh, LOL, Longview. Okay, well, that doesn't narrow it down. I know a lot of people in Longview. Tammy Thrasher. Oh, Tammy Thrasher Mitchell. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. I know several people in Longview now, Tammy Thrasher Mitchell. So, here's Tammy, I have a challenge for you. Let's just do this. Let's just do this right now. And I'm going to call Tammy Thrasher Mitchell out. If she leaves this live stream, y'all need to go like harass her on her page or something. I'm kidding. All right. So Tammy, go live tomorrow. Go live tomorrow. Don't do it next Monday. Go live tomorrow. But I'm always your Facebook user. I love Tammy too. I love that woman. She's amazing. But go live tomorrow. Don't wait until Monday. But I have a dentist appointment. I can't. Do you want me to join you for? Yes, dude. I'd love for you to join me for 15 minutes. All right, I'm sending Glenn the link, y'all. Glenn Morshower is going to get on here. Hang on, let me get this here. Let me email it to Glenn. And boom. Dude, it's in your inbox. Tammy, back to me coaching Tammy. She loves it when I do this, by the way. Go live. You have a dentist appointment. Okay. Go live from the dentist's office. People love to see that stuff. Oh, I can't watch. I can't. Oh God, I can't watch that. Okay, I'm watching. That's how people are. They want to see your tragedy. They want to see. It's terrible. But think about it. Think about what the mainstream media is filled with. I agree, Bob. Think about what the mainstream media news channels, what they're filled with. Negative, 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 negative. And people are addicted to that stuff, man. They're so addicted, in fact, that they will watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it. So if you're going to the dentist, if you're going for a lobotomy, I'm kidding. Do they do that? I don't even, whatever it is, like, show the world what you're doing. They want a behind the curtain look. That's what they want. I'm telling you. That's what they want. And I watched Grant Cardone figure this out years ago. I was like, that's what people want. They just want to see what they want to see behind the curtain. They do. So Glenn, I think, is getting on here. I just sent him the link. And I just wanted to come on and wish you all more success, bigger success, and faster success by using these tools that are right here at your fingertips. They're right here. Use them. Use them and use them big time. Oh, Glenn, Nick's got jokes. Nick has jokes. Oh my God, Nick, I gotta tell you something. I talked to Jill and her mom came by the office today, and Logan, your buddy Logan. Oh my God. So I knocked on his door and introduced Jill and Jan to him. And you know how funny he is. He is freaking hilarious. So I say, and Logan's completely bald, like he shaves it completely bald. And I say, well, Nick and Logan are really good friends. In fact, they're so good friends, they go to the same barber. Logan goes, it was so funny. He goes, yeah, but Nick's not fully committed. He has commitment issues. He still has that little bit going on here. He's not all the way in. He's not fully committed. It was funny it was hilarious. Holy crap. He is so funny. But anyway, so let's recap what I talked about tonight. I talked about, number one, doing a podcast. Do a podcast. Interview people. And I'm not talking about a Zoom podcast. I'm not talking about a YouTube video. That's not a podcast. Do a real podcast. Spend $20 a month and buy Spreaker, $20 a month, so you can upload your MP3 files, and then it will distribute it to every podcast platform around the world. There is some setup, but you can figure it out. Put your podcast out there. And Spreaker is owned by the way, Spreaker is owned by iHeartRadio. Use these tools. Look at this right here. Who do we have in the house? I didn't know it was going to be the Ken and Glenn show. Hold on. Hold the freaking phone. I have a background for this. Would you look at that?
Yeah, but don't let it derail where you are, brother. You're in the middle of sharing something about podcasting.
Well, I'm recapping everything I was talking about. There's Shelly Turner. Long time no see. Now, I was just saying, look, I've been out to dinner with you many times where people are like, they recognize you. They're like, oh my God, you're the guy from whatever, right? And it's really mind blowing to see that happen. It's really pretty cool to see that happen. And but you chose a career that gets you in front of millions and millions and millions of people all at once. like boom, hey, we just had 5 million people watch our show this week. My mother-in-law and my wife are literally out in the living room right now going through all of the Manhunt on Apple TV that you're president of the United States. They're out there watching it right now, along with at least hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people across the world are watching that also. So, but when you're not an
Well,
actor,
they're trying to prepare themselves to watch you live on this show, Ken.
well, you're on here, so I feel like your career has finally peaked. I'm kidding. So, but here's the thing: like, people are like, you can reach millions of people all in one shot, where the average Joe that's not an actor, that isn't going for that as a career, the average Joe needs to figure out a different way to get attention. And there's no better way than doing a podcast and live streaming. No better way. That's all I'm saying. So there, I wrapped it up.
Well, if you find that you have an extraordinary skill, and if you don't find that, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Develop one. It's kind of inexcusable to outswim 500 million sperm and then wind up having no special skills. I mean, you came to the world to offer special skills.
Yes.
What are they? What are they? And get with the program if you don't have them. And it's not about competing with others, Ken. It's about stepping into the fullness of your intended design. I mean, something was in mind. I happen to believe it was an agreement between the very system in which we live and you personally.
Yep.
Right? It's not you alone. It's not the universe alone. It is a collaborative effort of the universe designing you because it understood that you would be issued curriculum and you would step into that curriculum. And sadly, a lot of people don't value life at that level. It's not a judgment about them. It's just a sadness that I have in my heart. And it's really not their fault, because they were educated very poorly by other people who believed in limitation. And so they handed off those beliefs in limitation and literally crippled their offspring. They crippled them. With their own belief in limitation. They made too. And then their grandkids and so forth. And it's been handed down generationally. And until we do a stop on that and a pause, which we were given a heavenly opportunity to do that last Monday, a week ago Monday, with the eclipse.
That was
right. The eclipse was an opportunity to give pause, just to stop. I mean, come on. For what, 3 minutes? Who doesn't have 3 minutes to stop and remember the order of the very system in which we operate? 3 minutes to stop and remember that we were designed by intelligence, we are intelligence, and we live within intelligence. We were designed by order, we live within order. Are we living orderly? And in that pause, you and I haven't really spoken this week, but that was life-changing. That was a very important situation. And isn't it interesting? We've all heard the saying that, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So for someone else, it's like, I got things to do. Okay, so that's their relationship with it. And then someone else, the very same thing that someone was too busy to even take a look up to notice, or to bother to go outside to take a look up. And I'm not being critical of them. I'm not. I'm just saying, isn't it fascinating that this is the world we live in? We can have an astounding gift like the eclipse. There were people flying all over. I know you know this, Ken. I'm reminding our viewers, there were people flying here from all over the world to see this, with people here who didn't have to travel anywhere, who missed it. Just didn't work it into the schedule, because the schedule was full of so many important things. You show me someone's life that's out of whack, and I'll show you someone whose priorities are out of whack. That it's really that. It's just priorities.
Yep.
And the choices that create and honor those priorities. When we get real clear during a still time like that, where you're looking at perfect alignment, to just stop and decide what is it that is most important to us. And then allow it. Here's the key, to allow it to alter us. It's intended to do that, to not walk away unscathed, but actually to walk away scathed in a beautiful way, where you experience that and go, that's the most memorable 3 minutes of my life. Or certainly in the top, the height of the list of things that have been spectacular in your lifetime. I don't know of any other time that I've heard a community gasp. And that's what I heard. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't mean you, Ken, I mean anyone, all you got to do is go to Solar Eclipse, April 8th, 2024 on YouTube, and watch the universally predictable gasp when it went into alignment, where people went, oh, and they were cheering like they were watching a friggin' Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's because it was worthy of cheering. That's why. But I don't remember seeing, because even in the Super Bowl, it's divided. You got half the people cheering for one team and half the others. It wasn't that way. If you were there watching it, you were there to cheer it on.
Yep.
You were there to see its beauty. And I have been numb with joy and fulfillment ever since. And it's been long lasting. And I'm grateful. So,
yeah,
hello to everybody.
It was amazing, dude.
Jill and I didn't come on. You were on a roll.
Huh?
I didn't come on until now because you were on a certifiable roll. And I thought, Ken doesn't need me right now. It would be an intrusion. No, for real. And you were spectacular tonight. So I thought when he's ready to go, before he disappears, I'll say, hey, hang on, dude.
Thank you, man. And it's not like you're my brother, man. Like I love having you on, and we both get on rolls. Like you get on, like you were just on a roll.
I was a little bit overzealous.
And I haven't talked to you this week and at all. And I'm, I feel the same. Jill and I stood in the backyard and experienced that together. And it was
spectacular, huh?
It was, oh my God. It was, have you seen any of the pictures I took? I posted them. I don't know if you saw them or not, but
I did.
I mean, holy crap, man.
I have the same addiction to you that you do to me. I can't go anywhere without examining what's going on in your life first. So I looked at your photos and I got to tell you, you had a radiant smile on your face.
Oh, it was amazing.
You looked like a little kid in a candy store.
It was amazing. And, I've just been in this, I've talked
euphoria.
I'm thinking about like how.
Okay. Depression.
Huh? No.
Euphoria. It must be depression.
No, I think about how simple, life can be, even though it's challenging at times. It's really not. I mean, it is, but it's not, if that makes sense. Scott Peck says in The Road Less Traveled, life is difficult. And he said, I'm not saying that to be a downer, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm just saying that, like, once you accept that there's going to be difficulties in life and you're not walking around with this, blaming everything outside of yourself, but you take the responsibility yourself for your life and realize you're going to come across challenges. There's going to be difficulties. It makes it a hell of a lot easier to transcend the difficulties in life. If you would just accept, hey man, there's going to be bumps. It's okay. It's okay. But that doesn't mean to stop. And I'll use you as an example, because you know how I love to use you as an example. But you've not landed every single freaking movie or television series that you went and tried out for, or whatever you call audition for.
I
Yeah.
believe is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. You didn't get every one of them.
No?
And you didn't sit around and sulk. You went, next.
Yeah, but Wayne Gretzky said it best when he said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right. That's right. Karma is action, and April 8th allowed me to manifest the soul release of my daughter. Yes, Glenn and Ken. It's Ken and Glenn, but that's all right. We'll let it go.
Could you let me get an occasional first billing in? Or do you have to jump everybody's ass anytime they bill me first? It's about time. Thank you, Patricia.
When we pay attention to what is real, we actually inherit enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Wow.
True words. True words. Hey, Ken, I got one for you on perspective. This has been in my noggin for a while, and I didn't share it at the event, but I know you'll love it. And I'm
going to give you full screen.
I'm firmly, you don't have to do that.
I'm
firmly convinced that, I kind of like seeing your face. I want to see Ken, don't do it. I want to see your reaction to this. Okay. So I just want to see, because it's going to bring a smile to your face. This is all about perspective and the fact that we are at choice in terms of how we choose to feel, because, it's not what happens in life ever. I know it feels that way. I think it feels that way to most people, but it really isn't. It's our interpretation of what happens, because that's what's long lasting. That's what we live with. So you can have something occur and that will hold no dominion over your life at all. However, how you label it, what label you slap on it, determines whether or not it gets to hold dominion. It determines its tenure, if you will, in your life, its longevity. How long lasting is it? How long will that continue to inspire you and or punish you? So here is this, and you'll always remember it. Hate, I'm doing this from memory. So hate is a 4-letter word, but so is love. Friends is a 7-letter word. Let me go around. Enemies is a 7-letter word, but so is friends. Cry is a 3-letter word, but so is joy. Success is a 7-letter word, so is failure.
Wow.
Optimism is a 10-letter word, but so is pessimism. So which side of the tracks? Now, I want to tell you, I've got that memorized. However, I can't help but note this, and I've shared that with a few audiences over the years. But I do want to say this. I can't help but notice how much healing has occurred in me, because even when I say that, and I didn't take credit for that, I didn't make that up, but even when I recite that, I don't recite it as it was written, because of the way I have trained my mind. So let me clarify for anyone that really liked that. The way to say it is to say all of the negative ones first, and then say, but so is. So for example, hate is a 4-letter word, but so is love. That's the way to do it. And what happens is, as I try to recount that, I automatically go to the positive one first. And that is evidence to me that I have trained my mind to lean in that direction. But the correct way to teach that lesson is to say the negative one first, and it's just not my nature to do that. So just really, really powerful stuff.
It is, dude.
Right? And there's one more that I left out, and that is lying is a 5-letter word, but so is truth.
Wow.
So every one of those are the exact same number of letters, exact. And they are the exact opposite. So they are antonyms that require the same number of letters, same number of syllables, which means they take the exact same effort to introduce those into a conversation. No more, no less. They are neither harder nor easier. So there's no excuse. If you're using the negative ones, you're using them out of habit.
Yeah.
And when we live by choice, we can replace those negative utterances with positive ones, with life affirming ones, and things that open our path instead of shut it down, things that expand instead of implode. So that's it's really, really significant to realize, wow, you know, I had a choice and I could have chosen to be lying or I could have chosen the truth. One leaves me feeling poorly, the other one leaves me feeling beautiful and healthy. So then why would you choose the poor one? And the answer is we're not thinking enough. We're not thinking enough about outcomes, aftermaths, consequences. We're not doing it. We're just mindlessly going through our day. And I got to tell you that if anyone wants to really address root cause for why things seem to be falling apart, why your life seems to be unraveling, lack of intentionality. The plan is not intentional enough.
Yep.
You just have to be more intentional about what you're doing and quit making exceptions to the rule. Here's
Amen.
what I'm doing. Here's
God,
what I'm doing.
amen.
Here's what I stand for.
Yes.
Here's what I'm following through with. Here are my priorities. Oh,
Yep.
oh, this interferes with it, then it's not welcome.
Yep.
Doesn't belong in my life. And if I leave it in my life, that's evidence that I'm not as fully committed as I'm bullshitting everybody else into believing that I am committed.
Yep.
And to me, I don't think that that's a tough assignment. Of course, there's always somebody there with their arms crossed going, yeah, well, you know, that's easier said than done, which itself is a belief system. If you want to decide that it's easier said than done, well, there you go. Way to pave the road for your own continuation in that thinking. If you want to decide it's easier said than done. So, I mean, nobody ever said it was going to be easy, but isn't your life being great worth it? If the outcome of your life is great and it's balanced, then isn't it worth the effort and the intentionality that it takes to create such an outcome? I say a resounding yes.
I'm
jacked up, Ken. I'm jacked up.
I can tell, and I
dressed up, buddy. I dressed up.
I know. I see.
Well, I had a speaking engagement on the Ken and Glenn show.
I think about, I've heard people say, things like, you can't be successful with a positive attitude alone.
Well, it isn't alone.
I know.
It isn't alone. It starts with that.
I know, dude.
It starts with that. Hey, Ken, who walked away from that eclipse? Seriously, who walked away from it that actually looked up at it, and when it was over, they went, that sucked? Nobody.
No.
Nobody. So a positive attitude is not tough to have.
Yeah.
All you got to do is be still and look around and notice how many beautiful things there are to observe. And yes, there are some atrocities, without a doubt. There are some uglinesses in this world, and for every ugliness, I'll show you 10 beauties.
Thank you.
And probably a lot more. But I'll promise you, the beauty of this world outnumbers the ugly minimum 10 to 1. And
Amen.
Probably more like 100 to 1.
Maybe 1,000.
Yes. I mean, but that's not me being in denial of the uglinesses. No. It's just that I really love the ratio.
Yeah.
Because you imagine, what if it flipped over? What if it was the other way around? For every good thing, we had 1,000 atrocities. Oh my God, this would be a terrible world. But that's just not the way it is.
Nope. I totally agree. And so I think that, the title I made, if you look at the top, is How to Win Bigger and Faster. And I said, I started with gratitude. No, I did not. I was going to, and I went.
Did you start with have a pulse?
Well, that helps. But you know what? There's plenty of people, dude, that live an entire life that never live.
No, I understand that. But I'm saying, I think it starts with having a pulse.
Yes.
And then I think gratitude belongs right up there at the top, but I think you're on top of it.
I'll tell you something. You don't know this. We haven't talked. I've been getting up at 6 o'clock every morning, 6 to 6:15 every morning, not taking a nap during the day at all, and going to bed by 11. Right now I am dragging because it's like, okay, my body's going, okay, enough, dude.
Wow, and I'm feeling great. Let's rock.
Yeah. But like I've been going to bed earlier, getting
Why? Were you starting to just find that your life wasn't working on the schedule you were keeping?
not as well as I'd like it to, and I've been a morning person in the past, and so
So
I've
you
made
did
some
something
changes.
about it. You're running an experiment in your life. Good for
And
you.
it's really cool to get up before the sun, dude. It's really cool to
I've done
get up
plenty
before the
of
sun.
it in my day.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I
I'm not
know.
on that schedule now, but I mean, Carolyn, when COVID first hit, we were getting up and leaving for a sunrise walk.
That's
Every
so
morning, we
awesome.
left the house when it was dark and we came home 20 minutes after the sun came up. Full hour walk every day. And it was spectacular.
Thank you, Bob. Yes. It's amazing. And watching the sun come up and the daylights, it's incredible. But anyway, dude, I am gonna end this if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I told you it'd be a short one. I just want to
my
come hug
brain
on you.
my
So, are
brain
you
is
doing
in here.
alone time in the morning? Or are you getting up and interacting with everybody?
No, I'm doing alone time in the morning.
That's
Yeah, just
beautiful.
a lot of times here lately, I've been just sitting out back on the patio listening to the birds and meditating. It's been beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
cool.
All right. Well, thank
So
you for your energy tonight on
yeah,
behalf
dude.
of
Thank
everyone
you,
that was
man.
watching, including me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you jumping on. Everybody, I'm gonna don't leave yet, but everybody, have a great night. And thank you for hopping on and watching. And anybody that shared, thank you for sharing. Brother Glenn, thank you for jumping on here with me, man.
Of course.
All right.
Glad to
Love
be
you
here.
guys. See
Night,
ya.
guys.